Good morning, everyone. It is currently 6:30 a.m. on Monday, March 31st, 2025, and I did it. I was able to get up early. I got up at a time I wanted to, that I determined last night that I wanted to, and I actually followed through with it this time. And it might not seem that early to you guys, but this really actually means a lot to me. Before we begin, I just want to address the fact that this video is a little bit different than the videos that I usually make. It is quite different than the 189 vlogs that I filmed, but I recently heard about this one razor about content. I don't know if you guys have heard about Occam's razor, but it's usually the simplest solution is the best one. This one, it's make the content that you want to watch. If you don't watch the content that you want to make, then why are you even making it? Truthfully, if I saw this video show up on my YouTube homepage or it was done by one of my favorite creators, I would click it in a heartbeat because it's about a problem that I have had for a long time that I've been really trying to solve. Watch this if you can't wake up early. I would click that in a heartbeat. So that's why I'm making this today. I'm making this so I can distill some of the knowledge that I've learned about this topic and just a way to, make a video for my past self. And if in the future I still struggle with the same issue, I can watch this video and be like, you know the answer, you know what to do. It's simple. So I'm making this video for myself and anyone else who might also be having a similar issue. Before we begin talking about some tips about waking up early that I've learned, I want to talk about why you even want to do this in the first place. Well, it comes down to me making the most of my time. I'm in a super unique opportunity right now where I have the lightest course load of my mechanical engineering degree. I only have 4 courses and most of them start at 11 a.m., which means I have the entire morning free. It's the first time I don't have 8 a.m.s for once. And I've really just wanted to make the most of my time. I graduate university in 18 days. That is crazy. I can't believe I go off into the adult world very soon. I wanted to make the most of this time. And by sleeping in till like 9:30, you kind of miss some important hours in the day. I really like to work out first thing in the morning, and waking up early and starting up my day off on the right foot with exercise and getting some meditation or some work done was always great. But I've been really struggling these past couple years with waking up early. Specifically, I've had this issue for the last 2 weeks. Earlier this term, I was able to combat it, but I'm back in that rut. And this is the first morning that I've been able to get out of it. So that's why I want to wake up early. My ideal time to wake up is 5:30 in the morning. That means I just get enough time to think and process before my first workout, which I like to have at like 7:30. And it's really nice because I get to watch the sunrise through my big window right here. And it's just a moment of reflection and relaxation. I find that if I wake up a bit later, my morning is always quite rushed and then I start off the day on the wrong foot. So when I wake up early and I give myself enough time to really process and settle into the day, I find that I start the day off not 5 steps behind, but in a good mental headspace. And the day usually just flows much better after I do this. I know all this, but yeah, I still have the issue with sleeping in. So some of you guys might be saying, what, it's like 6:30 or you wake up at 5:30? That's nothing. Like I have to get up at 5 for my work. And I totally understand that. I remember when I had to work at 7 or when I would wake up at 5 a.m. to work out before work last summer, it was less of an issue because I had that external pressure on myself. If I didn't wake up at that time, I wouldn't have time to work out, or I would show up to work late. And those are some really good issues for getting you out of the bed in the morning. But think about your days off. Think about the weekends. When you have nothing until well into the day and you wake up at 5:30 and you're tired, there's a chance that you might just turn off your alarm and go back to sleep for another 2.5 to 3 hours, which is what I've been doing. Every single day has pretty much been like a weekend or a day off because I start so late in the day. And without having that external pressure to get me out of bed, I just find myself taking the easy way out and hitting snooze on that alarm. So this is what this video is really dedicated towards, those moments when you don't have that external pressure and you want to just will yourself internally to get up early and you are wondering, why can't I do this? For the past 2 weeks, I've been writing in my journal every single week being like, why can't you wake up early? It's been such a theme. I have so many journal entries from the last month. Like here's the weekly review from March 3rd to 9th. Sleep was all over the place. Some days up early, others not. And then it goes worse. Sleep was terrible. Couldn't get up early most of the week. Lazy and unmotivated. Sleep was even worse last week. Was staying up late because I thought I could get more done. And then Here's last week. Sleep was shit. Bed too late. Woke up late every single morning. This is my journal from over the past like 3 years. I just switched it. Let's see where I was exactly a year ago. Woke up late. Alarm went off and I just rolled over. I should try getting up right when the alarm goes off. Waking up and getting out of bed is the hardest part. One day we did it. We got an early start to the day. Slept in. Woke up late as usual. April 5th. 2024. Woke up late as usual. That's right. I've had this issue for so long, guys. We're finally going to switch it. We're going to turn it around. We're getting out of this rut. So one thing over these past 2 weeks that I've been trying is like a bunch of stuff to really just get myself out of bed right when my alarm goes off. I've texting Maya, my girlfriend, I'm going to be up at 5:30 a.m. tomorrow and you're my accountability buddy. No, that doesn't work. I've tried dissecting the habit. Like, I realized that when I wake up early, the room is cold because I like to sleep with it cold and my covers are nice and warm. So I'll turn off my alarm and then I'll go back into bed. Oh yeah, I've also moved my phone, which I use as an alarm, across the room. So I actually have to get out of bed to turn it off. Instead of getting out of bed and being like, okay, time to get the day started, I just like turn it off and go back into my bed because my covers are nice and warm and the room is cold. So I thought, okay, if I put my sweatpants and hoodie right by my phone, I'll put them on and then I'll get the day started because it'll be warm. Nope, I still just ignore that. I've tried some stuff and they didn't really work. But this morning I was able to kick that and I tried to pay very close attention to how I felt right when I got out of bed to turn off my alarm. And it's weird. You feel like not yourself. You feel like in a different state. I was like groggy and you're not really thinking straight. You truly are. I'm just like, oh, like get me back into bed. Like that's the only thought I had in my mind. But I stood there for like one extra second. I just thought, don't do it. You're not that tired. Like I know you can go this one day without sleeping in. And then I just grabbed my headphones and I turned on a podcast and I went to the washroom and I was really thinking that act of waking up and deciding like turning your brain off sleep mode and into day mode is the hardest part. Once I was in the washroom, I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Like why was that such a tough decision? But it's interesting to see just like how hard that split second flipping the switch is. So if you want to get out of bed early, you got to realize that you got to get to bed at the right time. Sleep is crucial, so important for so many things. Like I don't even know how long this list goes on for, but it's important for recovery, for creativity, just for general well-being, for injury prevention, to stop some bad diseases. Yeah, you just need sleep. So if you want to wake up early, you need to make sure that you're getting to bed at the right time. I've thought about this, and when you're up and it's like 9:30 p.m. and you're like still feeling like somewhat awake, the discipline that it takes you to get ready for bed is way easier than the discipline it would take you to wake up early if you go to bed late. So the way I like to think about it is like it's 10 times harder to force yourself to wake up early when you haven't gotten enough sleep than it is to get yourself to bed at a decent hour. So when 9:30 p.m. hits, I gotta be like super vigilant and be like, you gotta get to bed right now because it's gonna be 10 times harder than this tomorrow morning if you stay up an extra hour. So think about that. Use the unbalanced leverage to your advantage. Go to bed at a proper hour. I've also been thinking like these past couple weeks, oh, if I stay up a little bit later, I can get more work done. Long term, that might not be the best solution because, you know, most of the stuff that I want to accomplish long term, like becoming a sponsored athlete, starting a business, yes, they require a lot of effort. But two, sleep is not the place that you want to look to cut those corners because long term it can have such bad effects. I truly am trying to convince myself that getting 8 hours of sleep or enough rest each night is the most important thing for my productivity, not doing the extra hour of work. And it's super hard to tell myself that. Super, super hard. But I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better. Another point I want to bring up. Your circadian rhythm is way stronger than you think. Naturally, I've been going to bed 11:30 most nights, and I've been telling myself wake up at 5:30. Not really enough time, get enough rest. But, you know, you wake up at, let's say 8 a.m. You go to bed 11:30, wake up at 8 a.m. most days. Your body gets into a rhythm. It likes that rhythm. It goes, we want to get you up at this time because then that's when you have enough rest. When you try to break that rhythm, it really doesn't like that. But if you're able to break that cycle and then wake up at 5:30 a.m. every single day, it slowly gets easier because then your body develops into that rhythm. You want to switch the rhythm to the one that you want. But you got to realize that the first time you do it is going to be really tough because your body is going to be fighting against you for that. And that's what I felt this morning. But I know deep down that if I do this every single day, it's going to slowly get easier and I'm going to develop into a rhythm. I'm going to start feeling more tired at like 9:30 instead of 11:30, which will force me to go to bed at a better time. And then the more and more that I wake up at 5:30, it'll get easier. Really hone into the fact that your body likes a rhythm. but realize that the first time it's gonna be hard. Before we end, I just wanna say that there are moments to be kind to yourself and that there are moments to be stern with yourself. Some days you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be super exhausted. You're gonna have done like 3 workouts the day prior, like I do sometimes. Body's gonna be so stiff that you're just gonna be like, oh, please, 1 more hour. It's okay. You can let yourself have that extra hour. But there's also some days when you wake up and you gotta be the David Goggins who's gonna carry the boats and the logs. You just gotta get up and get going. And today was one of those mornings. I have a lot to do today. I have a big ceremony this afternoon, but I also wanna work out twice and I wanna get some work done and I wanna edit this video. So I gotta get up early and I gotta be stern with myself. But that's not to say that there aren't moments when you have to be kind, you have to let your body rest. It's truly just listening to your body and hearing what it's telling you. But there's always a balance to be had. So lastly, to conclude this very long video of me just talking to my phone, having a nice little conversation, is to remember why we do anything and to not lose sight of the true side of it. I wake up early, or I try to wake up early because I like to say that I'm more productive. But truthfully, I think I really just like this moment of peace that I have with myself. It really gives me time to reflect on this journey that I'm on, hear the birds outside my window, to see the sun slowly rising. And those are just really peaceful moments that make me feel content in the moment. I've been really struggling with trying to feel happy and content right now in this period of my life when I have so much that I want to get done and I feel like there's so much I need to do to get done before I can feel happy. But the truth is, you got to be happy now. You have to be content right now in this moment, and waking up early is a way for me to do that. It might not make sense to you, but that's just how my brain works. I've always wanted to become a morning person, but I've always had the tendencies of a night owl, but that's not to say I can't change. And the days that I do wake up early, I never regret it. I always have a much better day and it always starts off on the right foot. So remember why you're doing it. Remember what's the real reason that you're doing it. And maybe it's one that's different than you originally thought. Like I thought I was to be more productive, but I think the real reason is for that moment of self-reflection. So that's the video. Just realize that if you want to wake up early, you can do it. It will require some habit changes. It will require some lifestyle changes, but you can change your circadian rhythm and it'll get easier. And yes, you can do it. You got this. You can wake up early on the days that you don't want to. So this is Josh. To anyone else having the same issue, have a great day.